Recently, I made a video for Trap Gunner. I made some artwork, I was pretty happy with it. This led me to a game called Groove-on-Fight. Some more great stuff from Atlas, killer concepts, character designs, things like that. There was this one character that had kind of a hybrid Wesker vampire. There's all kinds of great concept art of this character online. Those might as well be Wesker's sunglasses. Same for the vampire. It's pretty standard, but there's some unique flares to it that really sell the images nicely. Really liked them. Some action shots as well. You got the idea that there was this kind of transformation that takes place, almost like a werewolf transformation for a vampire. And they did the chibi style too. I love when they have both versions of the artwork available online. So I set out to make my own character, kind of doing my usual thing, doing a rough sketch, kind of laying down the foundation with my usual, like, kind of non-objective random lines to start things out. And then I knew I wanted the vampire to feel like a true transformation, almost maybe like something that was going on with Venom. So I drew part of the vampire and left the main character there as kind of the central focus, but like the vampire kind of like, I don't know, like ejecting from him, like he's calling it forth or something. You can see here I did something I don't like to do and didn't plan out my hands before I was finished with my sketch, and that is always, I gotta stop doing that. If I have a face that I'm happy with and hands that I'm happy with, that's something I read in a Todd McFarlane book. Generally speaking, the rest of it's gonna be fine. I can figure out the pose, connect the appendages. Pretty solid on the composition, all of that. If the hands are in a place with a perspective that I like and the face is communicating the emotion I'm looking for, yeah, things tend to work out and sort themselves out for there. So I don't know why I decided to skip that step this time. I was in a little bit of a rush with this video, and you'll see why. And so I'm gonna let this video play. One of the other things I wanted to discuss was, like, it can just be really difficult to keep posting your artwork online. I've been at about a weekly pace here since September. I've tried a couple of different projects, had a bunch of artwork stockpiled, so that was something that was recommended through various channels and something I did. But it's still really hard, and I don't want to say I'm doing this purely for the engagement, but I have not seen a ton. If nothing else, I think this is going to be good practice and good record keeping for me. No matter where I'm at, if people, are interested in seeing my art or whatever, I have something I can recommend pretty easily. And it's almost like a digital kind of online sketchbook for everything that I'm doing, all in one place, all easily accessible. So I definitely like that. But I'm starting to learn that even though my artwork, I'm always trying to improve, but I do feel like my artwork is at a quality that I'm pretty happy with and feel comfortable sharing. And I thought that would carry into YouTube, no problem. I'm not big on social media, don't really have any other accounts, but I thought the artwork being of a solid enough quality would have it gain some traction. And I'm starting to learn that's not the case. It takes time to edit, it takes time to put things together, it takes time to think of ideas and connections and things like that. And just making the artwork alone isn't enough on this platform. So I'm trying to find ways to mix that up and interact more. I found that maybe I need to reach out more. How can I be expecting all this interaction on things that I'm doing when, even though I watch a bunch of, art-related, media-related, entertainment-related YouTube videos, I rarely comment on anything. I would venture to guess that's the case for a lot of people. You look at the views to comment ratio or the views to like ratio, and it's astronomical. It just blows your mind. And I get it. Not everything's a true viewer, authentically, engaging with the material, but even if you account for that, half it, the ratios just don't end up, equitable in any sense of the word. So I've been thinking about why that is, and I think I've been a little scared to leave comments and interact that way. I feel confident in the art, and maybe a little less confident in my online interactions, and that's an unusual place to be. I feel like I interact, more or less fine in person. But online is like a whole different ballgame, and I am a little bit scared of it. There's, all these media narratives, and too much social media is bad for you, and how much time do you spend scrolling? And I was so concerned about that impacting real life relationships, and I don't know, just maybe getting in the way of like productivity or wasting time, and not wasting time intentionally, like taking a break, just like scrolling for no particular reason. And so I want, this art, these videos to go in a direction that I feel like is providing something that's not there. I've got this idea about illustration essays, providing information and using the art as a way to interact with things, ideas, and concepts so that they resonate a little bit more. I think if you love pieces of art, creating art related to that is a great learning technique. It can be a great hobby. It's very malleable. There's a lot of great things that can come from it. I've got tons of original artwork as well, stories, books that I've kind of stockpiled and just realized I haven't really done a ton of sharing with them, and maybe it's time to start thinking about that and how, you know, I think I know right now what type of art I'd like to make, but what do I do with it is almost like an entirely separate question, and one that maybe, I need to give a little bit more consideration. I think the illustration essay is not something I've seen a ton of on YouTube. When I use the hashtag in my videos, it gives you that little greater than, less than sign. And this is definitely a less than topic. I don't think there's like some kind of secret market corner I've stumbled upon here. It doesn't really seem like there's anybody else doing this. So maybe that's an opportunity, see a need and kind of fill that gap and see what happens. But maybe being more transparent about the artistic process and how these videos come about will, help other people and help me find some direction as well with where I want to go with things. I've got lots of ideas planned and I'm working my way through them. I think the weekly schedule's been good, but it's definitely time to start thinking about what I'm going to do next. So this piece of artwork is about to wrap up. Here's the, I took a background from the game, titles, dropped things in, kind of filtered, moved things around, made a fake start screen with my own illustration. I'm pretty happy with the way things turned out. But really why I made this video was because it was actually my first suggestion. There's a YouTube channel called Retro Ripple, made a video on Tobal and Akira Toriyama. I thought the video was really fun and I decided to leave a comment, and I actually got some feedback back, and that was amazing. So Retro Ripple, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It helped me become inspired for what's next.